What's the crack, guys? Let me talk to you. This week is the week we've all been waiting for. It's WrestleMania 41 week. I know that there's a lot of WWE fans out there who are maybe on the fence about this year's WrestleMania build-up. Maybe they're not interested, or maybe it doesn't click with them, and that's totally fine. That's understandable because even though the build-up has been shit, to be honest, the payoff, the two nights could deliver. They could deliver in a big way. So, WrestleMania 41, to start off with before we go through predictions, is taking place in Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas. So it is. Night one, before we go into the predictions, I want to say this about this year's WrestleMania. And I'm going to be brutally honest with, you guys, and, not like he's ever going to hear this or see this, but I'm going to be brutally honest with Triple H himself. This year's WrestleMania build-up has indeed been, I wouldn't call it shit, to be honest. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said that, because it's not what I'm actually thinking. But what I would say is it's not been as huge. It doesn't feel as huge, and it's that time of year again, WrestleMania. Like, it just doesn't feel like that, so it doesn't. Just a quick review of Raw before we get into the predictions. Last night's Raw. If I'm being honest, I love the wrestling. Don't worry, I love the wrestling. I thought it was a great match between both Finn Balor and Penta. Loved that match. I thought it was a great match between Julius Creed and Rey Mysterio, which I did not believe at the time I'd actually like, because I was sitting up with the missus watching Raw, and she could tell that I was tired. But we were sitting watching Raw, and I was thinking to myself, you know what? If they're gonna give us this kind of crap, like, don't get me wrong, love Rey Mysterio, love seeing him in action, but if they're going to give us this kind of crap, Rey Mysterio versus Julius Creed, the Raw before WrestleMania, I was just thinking, babe, I'm not doing this, like, I really am not. We have a star-studded main event to kick off night one, so we do. Well, not to kick it off, but you know what I mean. Anyways, I would give Raw before WrestleMania this year, I would say a 7 out of 10. And some people would say that's not really good. Some people would say that's good, that's okay. But to me, there's a lot of people I'm already seeing online who say it didn't feel like a Raw before Mania. I'm just hoping that Raw after Mania will feel even bigger. I'm just hoping. Americano, such a name. Like, sorry, not Americano. El Grande Americano. It's such a fucking stupid name. It really is, because sorry about the camera movements. But no, I was saying to my girlfriend last night that it was just such a stupid name. El Grande Americano. Like, oh my god. I know they're trying to go with the fact that Chad Gable is a part of American Made, and they're going with the all-American style, the all-American Jack Swagger. I'm joking. But this match feels like it's just been thrown together as a way to get Chad Gable and Rey Mysterio onto the show. Don't get me wrong, love Rey Mysterio. And Chad Gable is very talented. He very much is talented. And there's no one denying whatsoever that El Grande Americano is Chad Gable. Definitely. What I would say is, for this match, I'm going to go with Rey Mysterio to win it. And the reason why is because this match just does not feel nearly as big as last year's match, where, if I don't even know what Chad Gable did last year at WrestleMania, I can't remember. He was really meant to go up against Gunther for the IC title, but they did that with Sally. So I can't remember what he did last year. I really can't. But what I will say for this year is, I just don't see the point in El Grande winning. I really don't. Like, everyone knows it's already Chad Gable. It's not like you're going to elevate another WWE superstar. You're really not. Give Rey Mysterio the win. He deserves the win. I don't really know much to say about this match. I really don't. Rey Mysterio for the win. Next one I'm going to go for is, and this match was also kind of slapped together like that. Not really much thought put into it, and that is the World Tag Team title match between the New Day and the Warriors. Now, I take the piss out of my girlfriend for that, because she was asking who was going to be on Raw last night before we started watching it. I was like, babe, I cannot be arsed to watch a single second more of Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston come out to the ring and say the same shite over and over again. I can't be arsed with it. I can't. The truth is, and this is really a thought for another video, it really is not a thought for this video. My girlfriend knows, and many of you may not know, but I'll tell you this now. I think Triple H has fucked the New Day over. I think he has. There's nothing being done with them. They're heels, and don't get me wrong, they're arrogant, savage heels. Don't get me wrong, they're just your normal heels, but like, we were kind of hoping that after, was it November, December, that was the New Day celebration, you were kind of hoping that it was going to set up to, I don't know, like a match at WrestleMania between like Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston against Big E in a handicap match or something like that, or a tag team match with the old New Day and then Big E and a partner. Like, you kind of thought it would do something, but Triple H has not done a single thing with them. All they're used for really is to come out during toilet break hours, if I'm being honest, and say what they're going to say. Like, that's really all they do. That's really all they do, and it's quite sad because they're two of the best in-ring talent you'll ever see. Like, Kofi Kingston, about 5 years ago, was Mr. WrestleMania. Like, Kofi Mania blew up. Like, what's happening? Like, what are you doing, Triple H? I'm going to go with the War Raiders to do this. I'm going to go with the War Raiders to retain the tag team titles, because what I want to see during this match is what we should have actually got, which is Big E in some capacity. I think Big E will come out after all the slabbering and shit talking that New Day have done. I believe Big E will come out and silence them, distract them in some way, and help the War Raiders win the match. So I'm going with the War Raiders. I think the War Raiders are doing really, really good with the titles right now. The promos lately, as well as, you know, them being active, just even being active, and the way that they defended the tag team titles and really put them in the spotlight, they're doing so much better than Judgment Day ever did. So I'm going with the War Raiders for this. Jade Cargill versus Naomi, and if I'm being honest, it's a match that I care about a little bit more than the previous two. I do, because of the fact that, you know, it's been good storytelling between Naomi, Jade Cargill, and Bianca Belair. The fact that, you know, Naomi was the one to attack Jade Cargill, put her out of commission for a good lot of months, and then Naomi was wanting to say to you know, Bianca Belair, I did it for you, I did it for me. Like, you know, it just shows you that Naomi has got to the point where she's been a babyface for years, and she has put over other talent. She has been a side piece to everything for the last couple of years. It's good to see her finally getting that spotlight in a feud that matters. So I'm going to go with Cargill for this, though, because as much as we're going to get to see Naomi on the grandest stage of them all. We're getting to see her because she's obviously going up against Jade Cargill. But I believe in a way that Jade needs this win more. She needs this win more to assert her dominance on the global stage, because I can't remember if Jade Cargill was a part of WrestleMania last year. I really can't remember. But this year is pivotal, because if she can beat Naomi at WrestleMania, it just proves her dominance even more, and it puts her over. Like, Naomi's at that stage of her career. Don't get me wrong, she's got so much more to give to the tank, so much more in the tank. But she's at that stage in her career where she doesn't need the big wins. Like, her character is amazing at the minute, and what work she's doing as a heel is amazing. She doesn't need a big win. She really doesn't. So I think this will be used to put Jade Cargill over. So I'm going with Jade Cargill, because I don't believe it'll be like that whole return as well at Elimination Chamber, having Cargill come back from injury to put Naomi out of Elimination Chamber, to beat the crap out of her, and then only to have her lose at WrestleMania to Naomi. It doesn't make any sense. It really doesn't. So I'm going with Jade Cargill to win that match. United States Championship match between Jacob Fatu and LA Knight. Yeah. Well, sorry, I should have said it this way. I love you, Jacob. This is a tricky one. It's a really, really tricky one, because I love both these superstars. I think they're both amazing. They're both over as well. Like, they're both really, really over. Like, LA Knight has not lost a step. Even when he lost his title at Survivor Series to Shinsuke Nakamura for no fucking reason, he never lost his star power. Never has. You know, the man's been through world title matches and WWE Championship matches, never lost his star power. But there's a difference this time, and the difference maker is, as I just said, Jacob Fatu. Jacob Fatu right now, aside from LA Knight, is probably one of the most over people on the SmackDown roster mid-card division. He really is. Don't get me wrong, I'm not going to sit here and say that this is the match for WrestleMania I wanted. A lot of us were wanting, we were wanting Solo, or sorry, should I say Solo? We were wanting Solo versus Jacob Fatu at WrestleMania, but for some reason they didn't give us that, they took too long with it. And then obviously Randy Orton's out now of WrestleMania because of Kevin Owens, but obviously I hope Kevin Owens gets better. There's rumours at the minute though that Randy Orton could be facing either Nick Aldis or Solo Sikoa. I would love that if he faced Nick Aldis. Please, Triple H, please give us that match. Honestly, it would be so fucking cool, so flipping hilarious to get that match. So it would be, and the fact that Randy Orton even brought out Mickie James into the situation the other night, whenever he was like, I'm not going to have any problem with going to Mickie James and telling her why her husband didn't come back. It's quite funny. It's a hard question because Jacob Fatu and LA Knight are both very much over. They're both very much over. But in a way, I feel as if quite possibly Jacob might get the match cost for him. And I think it might come as interference from Solo. Either Solo and Tama Tonga won't mean to, or they will. But I'm guessing they won't mean to. But then Jacob will snap at them because that was his only championship match. I don't know. I can't see them taking it off him. But like I said, Jacob Fatu is quite over at the minute. Really, really over. So I'm thinking they either have Jacob Fatu win the match clean to protect both superstars and have him win the championship, or they have Solo come out and accidentally, inadvertently cost him the match, which then sets up a match between them two, because that'll protect Jacob more so well from looking weak. It's hard. It really is a hard one, but I'm going to go with Jacob on this because I think he's so over at the minute. WWE would be foolish not to pull the trigger on him. So over at the minute. I must say I am quite disappointed though that we didn't get a proper mid-card division championship match, like a ladder match or something this year. You've got so many mid-carders on SmackDown which would deserve to be in that spotlight. You have Santos Escobar, you have Andrade, you have Carmelo Hayes, The Miz. There's already 4 names I can mention that would deserve to be in that spotlight for the United States title match. You could have had a ladder match at WrestleMania. You really could. So we have the very controversial and very much hated WWE Women's Championship match between Tiffany Stratton and Charlotte Flair. I'm not really going to talk much about this because I don't really care. I'm sorry, I don't really care. So I'm going to go with Tiffany Stratton on this. Charlotte Flair does not need to bury another women talent. She doesn't need to bury another WWE superstar. She really doesn't. Charlotte does not need this win. She doesn't. If anything, Tiffany needs the win to prove to Charlotte that she's more than just a teenage fangirl or whatever, and this, that. So I'd say that Tiffany needs the win, and Tiffany should get the win, so she should. So that's my quick prediction for that one. Oh, so just me, day one is. I had to do that. He is so hot right now, so he is. Jey Uso versus Gunther for the World Heavyweight Championship. Now, as much as it's not the main event, it has the potential to be one of the best matches on the show. Judging by the way that Jey Uso has been the last couple of weeks, his mannerisms has changed, his attitude has changed. He's no longer just the funny and jolly. He's more serious after what he's seen Gunther do to Jimmy. And that's really, I think that's set a serious tone in him, a fire in him. I think he's got heart. He's got so much heart and so much passion. And I do believe we're looking at the last days of Gunther's title reign. I do believe it. Because here's what I'm thinking. The consequences of having Jey lose to Gunther for a third or fourth time, whatever it's been now, would be devastating. It would be devastating. Because the truth is, who else will Gunther feud with after WrestleMania? And that's probably not even the serious question. The serious question is, would Jey Uso even be taken seriously if he lost to Gunther again? Would he be taken seriously? No. He would just be made a laughing stock, which is why I do believe that we are seeing the last days of Gunther's title reign. I think there's so much. They've given Jey Uso so much passion, so much heart with the promos, with seeing Jimmy getting beat up, and Gunther covering his body and his blood, like, fucking hell, that stuff. That's cinema. That really is cinema. So I think it's Jey Uso's time. I think his stardom is beyond. It's above and beyond. His charisma is above and beyond. The fans love him. He sells out each arena. Raw's ready for him. Raw's ready for him to become world heavyweight champion. So Jey Uso becomes world heavyweight champion. And the main event of the night. I'm gonna have to make 2 videos on this, fucking hell. The main event of the night of night 1, ladies and gentlemen, your tribal chief, Roman Reigns, versus CM Punk versus Seth freaking Rollins. I had to do the announcements like that, so I had to. This is a very tricky one, so it is. It's a tricky one that might take me quite a bit here. The way I see it is, it's so tricky. It really is, because they're all contenders to win this match. They really are. You got a favour that CM Punk's going into WrestleMania with Paul Heyman in his corner. You never know if he'll side with Roman halfway through the match, or if he'll side with Punk. There's a lot of speculation of who will he side with. Will he side with Roman? Will he side with Punk? He's walking into WrestleMania with Punk. That's confirmed. But there's another thing that's going around at the minute. Another idea. Could Paul Heyman ally with Seth freaking Rollins? Could he ally with that man? I think there's a possibility here. Because slowly but surely, Seth Rollins is turning heel. Well, he kind of is a heel right now. So he's a babyface heel. He's like a 20. But what I would say about him is, I think a heel Rollins with Paul Heyman by his corner would be amazing. Like, he'd be a very arrogant heel, so he would be. And the fact that Seth Rollins is kind of putting doubts in Paul's head, saying, CM Punk didn't come back because he liked you or he loved you. He came back because you owe him a favor. Roman Reigns doesn't like you, love you. Just, he's there because, you know what I mean? So I'm going to put it out there now. There's way too much I can say about this, and I don't have time to say about it. I'm going to go with Seth Rollins to win this match. I'm going to go with Seth Rollins. I think WWE is going to swerve the hell out of us with this one. I don't think it's going to be Roman. I don't think it's going to be Punk. I think it's going to be Seth Rollins. I think he's going to win with the help of Paul Heyman. I think he will. I genuinely think he will. Anyways, folks, that is the end of the video. Thank you all so much for watching. Yes, predictions for night 2 were not on this video, but they will be on the next video. It's just way too long to put them both of them on the one video. But thank you all so much for watching. God bless, and I'll see you all in the next one.